you guys have been doing this. This is the fifth year now.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what makes this year different. What makes it unique and special?
Sure. Well, this is our fifth year here at Altrua, and we formed Altrua Hometown Hero. And this year it's a little special. We're doing something a little bit different. We're honoring the 75th year of D-Day and the Normandy landing. So I thought, what a better way is to honor these folks that served our country, is to have them on our float this year and honor them in the parade for the 75th year.
And tell me a little bit about these gentlemen.
Sure. Well, our first gentleman that we have, his name is Mr. Bryce Thornton. He was an explosive expert that served, landed in Normandy D-Day. And the other gentleman is Mr. Julius Fisher, and he's out of Quincy. And he was a gentleman that Mr. Billy Dean brought to us, and I'll let Mr. Billy talk to him.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Julius Fisher, 97 years old. He's originally from Leon County here, and then he moved about 5 streets over from where I grew up in Gadsden County. And I interviewed him for a documentary that I was doing about Gadsden County and the men who served. And I found out that Mr. Fisher played a very important role in supplying the paratroopers in southern France, which was supplying my dad. So my dad was jumping in to southern France, and if Mr. Fisher hadn't done his job, I might not be standing here. And I just thought it was ironic that he lived 5 streets down from us. And so when Skip was looking for some hometown heroes, Mr. Fisher was the first person I thought of to say thank you to him and all the folks from Gadsden County and Leon County for serving in World War II and for doing your job so well. So these are our honorees for the year, and thanks to Altrua and to Skip and these guys for shedding a little light this Veterans Day.
You know, me and you were talking about this the other day. This is the 75th year of the Normandy. You know, these guys are seeing more and more of them every day. You know, definitely every year. How does it feel, you know, for you to be able to have this opportunity to give these guys, you know, a little bit of recognition this far later, you know, could very well be one of the last chances they get to.
Right. Yeah. Well, how does it make me feel? It makes me feel very, very proud that we can honor these guys, and it's very humbling at the same time. If you knew what these guys did, our greatest generation back, we all may not be here. And to have them do what they did, see what they saw, and bring, you know, the countries that were trying to overwhelm the world and bring us to our knees, it's just amazing what these guys did during that period of time. And they weren't ever asked to do it. They just did it because it was the right thing to do for our country and for the world. And they saved the world. There's no doubt about it. So that makes me very proud to honor these folks. And yeah, we may not be having this conversation a few more years from now, because we're losing them by the dozens every month.
You know, you gave an example of how, you know, one of these guys may directly be responsible for keeping you alive. And, you know, you think there's a lot of stories out there that people may not know, that, you know, talking to these guys while they're still around, you know, other people have an opportunity to potentially make a connection that they may not realize is there.
Absolutely. I thought it was so powerful that in the 40s, the black community weren't allowed really to pick up a gun and fight, but their role was so crucial to supplying the units, driving intelligence to the front of the lines. They risked their lives, and they did it with honor. And being in the military in the 40s, during that time, everybody was united with a common cause, and it takes veterans like Skip is a veteran as well. It takes guys like this who are patriotic to preserve the past and promote the future. And that's kind of what we're doing. I don't think you can promote the future without preserving the past. And these guys are not going to be here much longer. And so this is one of our ways of trying to, preserve the past, and also to say that, this old gritty North Florida territory, growing up in the 40s and in the back end of the Great Depression, it prepared a certain breed of man to survive things like the Battle of the Bulge. It's not easy growing up in old North Florida, but it prepared them. And then a lot of us guys were raised by this greatest generation, and I think there's a story to be told there. Is what kind of parents were these guys? What was it like being raised by them? And that's something I'm working on later on in the future. I'll share with you guys as well. But it starts with Bryce and Julius here for the parade. We hope everybody, the best way for people to really honor these guys would be to come and participate, be at the parade, come at the presentation at the end of the parade, and you'll be moved, I think.
What do we expect to see? How's this ceremony going to kind of work?
Sure. Well, the parade starts around 10:40. We'll be towards the tail end of the parade. We'll travel down past the Capitol building and turn back around and circle back up to what we call the chain of parks on Park Avenue and Adams Street. And that's where the stage will be there. Billy's agreed to perform for us, and we'll make a presentation. And one thing I do want to mention, we are also honoring Billy's father as our third hometown hero. So we're calling it Altrua's Trio of Heroes, and very proud of that.
Absolutely. Anything else you guys want to add that I haven't asked?
It works. I'll just later on, whenever you want, I'll send you that interview with Mr. Fisher.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Use it however you want.